Teofimo Lopez is something else. This guy is only 25 years old and he is already delivering us some drama. He is keeping us on the roller coaster already as far as his career is concerned, man. My hat's off to the man. This was something else. He comes out here and significant underdog, according to Vegas odds, significant underdog in the minds of the public, significant underdog in the minds of a lot of people who are inside the game, fighters, trainers, managers, things like that. You could see a lot of people were being asked questions coming up to this one. It's a big fight. A lot of people's opinions being polled. Not that many people were picking Teofimo Lopez to win. Like, look, a lot of people were saying he's a very skilled fighter, very athletic. He's got all of these things going for him, right? It's not like people were completely counting him out and saying he's a bum and he's going to go out there and this and that and the other thing. But not a lot of people were actually picking the man to win the fight. And he goes out, I mean, look, let's be honest with each other. Prior to tonight, what were we dealing with here? What were we talking about when we were talking about Teofimo Lopez? We were talking about a man who came out, went on this incredible run, knocking dudes out, something spectacular, goes out and fights the man at 135 pounds, Vasily Lomachenko, and looks phenomenal when he does it. He goes out there and wins the belts in outstanding fashion. But after that, he has looked anything but outstanding. Goes out there and loses the belts to Kambosos, steps up to 140 pounds, two underwhelming performances against Pedro Campa and Sandor Martin, arguably loses the fight to Sandor Martin, and now he's coming out here against Josh Taylor. The man, Josh Taylor is the guy who people consider the man at 140 pounds, and he's going out there after these underwhelming performances, stepping up. Easy to see why everybody was counting him out. Easy to see why everybody was looking past him. I don't want to say looking past him, so to speak. It's not like we were already talking about what was going to be next for Josh Taylor. It wasn't one of those situations, but it was definitely a situation when not many people were picking him to win. And there were some people even saying, hey, if Taylor's not on his game, hey, if he's not doing things correctly, he may even end up getting stopped late. And then coming into this fight, man, we see the craziness that is Teofimo Lopez, right? I mean, constantly, time and time again, we are talking about the man's mental state going into these fights. We're talking about how he's feeling, his emotional state, his mental state, all these types of things. Where is he going to be at going in? And usually, it's not a good conversation. Usually, we're not coming up with good conclusions, and we think that this is going to show up negatively in his performance in the ring. And we've been right pretty much in the past when we've been saying those things. He's not looked good. And then going into this one, he's saying all kinds of crazy stuff, right? Weeks ago, he's making the comment about the way Top Rank is promoting black fighters versus him. And then he's making all, he wants to kill Josh Taylor in the ring. And you can see going into this fight tonight in the promo for it, we saw an interview that he was having with Mark Kriegel, and all of a sudden, as soon as his pop steps in the room, the whole energy changes and everything's different. And all of a sudden they're arguing back and forth and everything. And it's like, you can tell that this man is not like in a very solid place. He's not very stable. He's just, everything isn't clicking for him, right? Everything isn't going right. So all of these things combined, it's easy to see why he is not the favorite going into this fight. And then he loses, in my opinion. I happen to agree exactly with Max Kellerman and Mark Kriegel, their cards, not only the final score, but actually round for round, and just one of those rare occasions where I happen to agree with them exactly. Both their cards matched. And so that being said, going in, he loses 2 of the first 3 rounds. Not decisively, didn't go out there and get whooped, but he did lose 2 of the first 3 rounds. Goes on to win 8 of the next 9. I gave Josh Taylor the 10th as well, but goes on to win 8 of the next 9. I had the final scorecard 117-111 for Teofimo Lopez. He wins in dominating fashion. The man looked outstanding tonight. I've always said that I enjoyed watching him fight. I've always said that the things that he does when he's on, he's got the ability to be special with the quick hands, with the explosiveness, with the physical traits he has, combined with the decisions that he makes, the ring IQ and his counter-punching ability, the way he'll catch punches and return with the same hand. Everything was on tonight, man. Everything was firing. He was able to control the distance. He was getting Josh Taylor to follow him around and come straight in. He was freezing him with shots. He was freezing him with feints. He was countering the left. He was going to the body with the straight right hand. Everything he wanted to do, he was making work. Josh Taylor had no answer anywhere. He wasn't able to control the distance. He wasn't able to use the jab. He was barely getting off with the left hand. Everything he was trying, Teofimo had an answer for with counters. He was leading. He was backing up. He was going forward. I mean, it didn't matter. And then in the final round, Teofimo cranks it up, pours it on even more. Like, what is there to say, man? What a performance. You know, what a performance. I'll tell you what. I'm going to be very interested to see what happens next for Teofimo Lopez. And that's because, was this a one and done? Was this a time, once again, when we saw him rise up to the height of his powers, similar to the night when we saw him fight Lomachenko? And maybe we'll see him there again, and maybe we won't? Or is this like kind of an evolution of him as a fighter? In a way, because he's reaching the height that he was at once again, but he's now moved past whatever it was that was plaguing him for these last few fights. Has he now gotten past that? Is this now going to be the man that we see every time? Is this now what we can expect with consistency? Because this performance tonight was awesome. Dude, he went out there and did everything he wanted. I mean, Josh Taylor was catching him with the left hand at times. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like Taylor was just this complete shutout. I mean, he got dominated. He got like doubled in punches thrown and more than doubled in punches landed. He didn't. Teofimo Lopez by far landed the more significant shots. It was something special. But Josh Taylor did go out there and land some clean left hands. Man, Taylor didn't even blink, man. He ate him. It was nothing. He was doing everything he wanted. He was in the zone. He's out there. He's moving. He's dancing at times. Josh Taylor had no answer for the speed, the power, the explosiveness, the footwork, the style, the swagger that he was coming with. Teofimo Lopez was firing on all cylinders. So if that's what we could expect to see, if we could just believe that that's what we're going to see every time he goes out, man, it's going to be something special. He's going to be more than a handful for everybody in the division. We're seeing this little graphic come up early prior to the fight about who is out there at 140 pounds, whether we're talking about, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. Pro grade, anybody. If we see the Teofimo that we saw tonight up against anybody in that division at 140 pounds, he is going to be a problem. That's how good he looked. That's how much he was firing on all cylinders. And, you know, it doesn't matter. So it'll be interesting to see what comes next. My hat's off to the man. Job well done, to say the least. So let me know what you guys think. Were you as impressed with it as I was? Did you expect this? You know, I asked a question on the site coming into this one about who people thought were going to win. I want to say that it was around 70% of people were picking Josh Taylor to win this fight. Now, I didn't make a video coming into this one for an analysis or a prediction, but if I did, I wasn't going to pick Teofimo Lopez to win. It was going to be what a lot of people were saying. It's easy to recognize all the things he has going for him, and it's also incredibly easy to recognize that none of those things have basically been working in these last few fights. We've been seeing a lot of the same problems manifest over and over and over again. It was easy to believe and predict that those same things were going to show up again, and it was going to be problematic, and Josh Taylor was going to be able to come out victorious. And that isn't what happened at all. So he surprised a lot of people, myself included. Even people who were picking him to win, I doubt that they were expecting him to look as good as he did. So again, let me know what you guys think. Were you as impressed as I was? And what do you think is going to be next for Teofimo Lopez? Let me know what you guys think.